Good evening, Fort Morgan. Colorado High School Activity Association Baseball is on B106, B106.com. Here at American Legion, Eddie Underwood Field, the Fort Morgan Mustangs get set to take on the Brush Beet Diggers. Good evening, everyone. I'm Josh Miller alongside John Beltran. We'll be taking you to opening pitch. Today's Mustang Express brought to you by B&B Appliance, 502 Ensign, downtown Fort Morgan, the place to shop for all your appliance needs. B&B Appliance, member of the Brand Source Retail Program. Mustangs coming off a win in the earlier game against Platte Valley. 11-1 was the final in 6 as the Mustangs get set to take on the Beet Diggers here tonight. Mustangs starting lineup brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions. Cargill Meat Solutions takes as much pride in the community just as they do in the products they provide to their consumers, part of the KSIR B106 Scholarship Program. Out in left field for the Mustangs, David Mendez. In center, Nick Garver. Out in right field, Jacob Frick. Playing third, Misael Franco. That's short, Michael Fitzsimmons. Second base, Ulysses Hernandez. And at first, Aaron Anderson. Catching and directing traffic this evening, Justin Flug behind the plate. And on the mound, Matt Godo.
I can tell you, Godo is a horse. I mean, he made a start last year, Josh. I think he threw about 150 pitches. So unless he's in major trouble, he will certainly stay in this game for quite a long time. He's got lots of experience off a very good junior year.
Due up to start here tonight for the Brush Beet Diggers. Gregory Mayers to lead off, followed by Eric Garcia, and due up third this inning, Mitch Tormolen. Tonight's opening pitch brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance, locally in Fort Morgan and Brush, offers home health, auto, farm business, and workers' compensation insurance. As we get set to get underway, Godo looks in and gets the sign from Flug, winds up, high and inside. First pitch here tonight, ball one.
Both of these teams have won earlier today.
Second pitch on the way, high and in tight as well, ball two. 2-0 the count on the Beet Diggers. Gregory Mayers as we're underway here. Eddie Underwood Field, American Legion Park in Fort Morgan. Pitch in the dirt, ball three, 3-0. Here is Godo's falling behind quickly to Mayers.
And Godo's working quickly. He might have to settle down a little bit.
Getting some of these early season jitters out of the system as ball four is delivered and gives the Beet Diggers their first base runner here tonight. And that brings up Eric Garcia, left-handed hitter, with Mayers on first, held on by Anderson.
Yeah, Fort Morgan defeated Platte Valley in the opening game of the Spring Classic, 11-1 in 6 innings. The Beet Diggers had to go to the distance, that is, as Brush was a winner over Platte Valley by a score of 5-1 with 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Apparently there's a truck out there. They're not getting it in right center field. The lights are on. They got to turn those off, and somebody's directing them out there to turn the lights off, but they still have their headlights on, and there you go. So if you're coming to the ballpark, headlights have got to be off. If you're actually watching it from beyond the fence, you cannot have those headlights on.
Godo now back on the rubber, sets to deliver the pitch. Instead picks off the first, but easily back is Mayers for the Beet Diggers. Godo now looks again back into Flug, gets the sign. Set pitch on the way and high and outside. Again, another ball. It's 5 straight balls here to start this ball game for Godo.
This looks like he's overthrowing in the early going, but sometimes when you've got lots of experience, that first inning is the toughest.
Pick-off attempt again, no good. We saw that earlier in the game. Mendez started off a little bit rough with the walk, but then settled down in after that and continued on for 11 strikeouts. As Godo again, ball outside. 2-0 now the count on Eric Garcia.
Yeah, 6 balls to start the game. He's really rattled so far.
Godo now delivers again. High and outside, ball 3. 7 pitches, 7 balls. Beet Diggers with leadoff runner on base, and if Godo's not careful, he's going to put Garcia on as well. Does just that with pitch number 4, ball 4. 8 pitches, 8 balls. 2 base runners for the Beet Diggers.
Is that what you're saying, Josh? Is he just overthrowing right now? Because, I mean, it looks like his arm slot is off. Everything is off. His mechanics look pretty simple, but he just can't find the strike zone right now.
Yeah, an arm's a little bit behind his body. He's going to have to work to get better and quicker onto his front side so that ball comes down in the zone. Everything's high and outside. That arm's trailing right now. It's going to be big for him to make sure his lower half and his upper half are working together here.
Mitch Tormolin, who was 1 for 3 in the first game against Platte Valley.
Tormolin takes his first pitch down and outside in the dirt. Breaking ball there by Godo. Can't find the strike zone as Tormolin's count goes to 1-0. Base runners for the Beat Diggers on second and first. Mares at second, Garcia at first, both reaching on walks. Mustangs, Ulysses Hernandez looks to try to duck in behind second, but instead time's called at the plate. Godo's got to find the strike zone here. Before we know it, Beat Diggers are going to have the bases loaded and be looking to score some runs. Strike there by Godo on the 1-0 pitch. Make the count 1-1. I talked to Coach Langford in between games. When they scrimmaged this last week, and they had trouble coming out in that second game with any kind of momentum. They were a little bit sluggish after sitting around. That's not something they're used to with playing one game for the most part during the majority of the season. So he had said that was going to be a little bit of the challenge and task here for his ball club tonight to see if they handled that test a little bit better than they did here in the early part of the season last weekend with those scrimmage games. Godo now comes to a set, checks the runner at second. Not much of a lead there by Mares. Pitch on the way, high, but swung at by Tormolin. Makes the count 1-2. Godo now ahead in the count. First time we've seen that here tonight with 2 strikes thrown in the 1-2 count. Pitch on the way, down and outside in the dirt, ball 2.
Well, when a pitcher's that wild, then he starts finding the strike zone. He's almost tougher to hit because the ball's been all over the place. You start finding the zone, and it makes it almost that much more difficult because there's no consistency.
Godo sets, 2-2 pitch on the way. Strike 3 looking.
Yeah, excellent fastball there on the outer half of the knees. And that's the opening out here in the top of the first inning.
Godo did well there in the back half of that at-bat to work down lower in the knees and finish off that at-bat. Get these Mustangs their first out as now Tyler Monday steps into the box for the Beat Diggers. And that pitch gets away from Godo just as fast as he found the strike zone. He lost it and got Monday there on the shoulder, and that's going to be a free pass and load the bases here for the Beat Diggers. Mares at third, Garcia at second, Monday on first. After that hit by pitch, loads the bases for the Beat Diggers with 1 out here, top of the first. Mustang classic. Fastball on the way, strike 1 on the swing and miss by Hirschfield. 0-1 now the count. It looks like we're going to have a courtesy runner at first for Monday. Monday's the pitcher in this ball game. And didn't see the number on that coming in, but the 0-1 pitch misses inside.
Yeah, the Beat Diggers have lots of freshmen out there. I'm going to try to...
I think it's Alec Pedersen that came in to run for Monday. 1-1 count. And that pitch misses down and away. Ball 2, 2-1 now. To Hirschfeld. As Godo sets, delivers. Strike on the inside part of the plate with the fastball. Evens the count 2-2 here. Top half of the first inning, no score. Beat Diggers with the bases loaded. As Ryan Hirschfeld strikes out looking on the fastball on the inside part of the plate. He didn't think it was a strike, but the umpire called it.
I got to tell you, it looked pretty good from here, Josh. I mean, it was pretty much down the middle at the knees. So now there's 2 down with the bases loaded. Godo, as bad as he's been and as inconsistent as he's been, can get out of it by just getting Trevor Blake here.
Well, it's like you mentioned, it's hard for a hitter when a pitcher's been inconsistent. They're not expecting to see too many strikes. As Godo starts off the at-bat here for Blake with the ball, curveball down in the dirt. A lot of pitches here early for Godo, already up to 20, 21 on its way, high and outside, but swung on and missed by Blake. Fastball with a little velocity. Everything, for the most part, Godo's thrown's been up in the zone. He's working from the windup with bases loaded, 2 outs here. The 1-1 pitch on its way, a curveball. Down and outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count to the Beat Diggers, Blake. Bases loaded, Godo delivers. High and inside. Jam job, left it by Godo. He's going to finish this in with the easy 1-3 put out. And we've got 1/2 inning in the books. We'll take a quick break. We've got no score. Mustangs against the Beat Diggers. B106, B106.com. Back here at Eddie Underwood Field, American Legion Park, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs are taking on the Brush Beat Diggers. Fort Morgan Baseball Classic. Brush and Fort Morgan, both winners in their earlier games here today, both defeating Platte Valley. We're headed towards the bottom half of the second inning as Tyler Monday warms up for the Brush Beat Diggers. Defensively for the Beat Diggers, Eric Garcia is out in left field, Dylan Acosta in center, Daniel Soto in right, Ryan Hirschfeld at third base, Gregory Maris at short, Kyle Rosenbrock at second, Mitch Tormolin at first, Tyler Monday again on the mound being caught by Trevor Blake. Due up for the Mustangs, Nick Garver is going to be leading off, followed by Matt Godo, and third up this inning, Michael Fitzsimmons.
All right, you can follow this broadcast live not only here on B106 and B106.com, but a pitch-by-pitch gamecast. Just like at MLB.com, you can follow that on KSIRSports.com. Just click on the appropriate link and choose tonight's game between Brush and Fort Morgan. It'll give you a complete pitch-by-pitch breakdown, as well as the prior games that were played today, Brush over Platte Valley and Fort Morgan over Platte Valley.
First pitch here on the way by Monday, high and outside. Ball 1 to Garver. Watching Monday warm up here before this ballgame, he was a little erratic himself, John, and it'll be interesting to see how he settles in tonight as Godo's struggled for the Mustangs. Second pitch on the way. Also a ball down and low in the dirt. 2-0 now the count on Nick Garver as Monday sets up and looks to find the strike zone here early. 2-0 pitch on the way. Monday through the windup. High and outside, ball 3 as the ball gets away from Blake and heads to the backstop.
Yeah, he short-armed some of the bullpen, and then the mechanics were not the same pitch after pitch, and we're seeing right here that, you know, these 3 pitches have not been close to each other.
3-0 pitch on the way. Strike 1 taken by Garver. Garver taking all the way there with the 3-0 count.
And that's what he's got to do, just throw it down the middle, let Fort Morgan make contact, and make this an excellent baseball game here tonight. No score, bottom 1.
Strike taken by Garver. He dropped the bat and was halfway down to first base before the umpire made that call. That's going to fill up the count here. 3-2 now to Garver. Garver in the earlier game was 2 for 3 with a couple singles. As the count's full here, and Monday sets in, delivers. Pitch on the way. Hit by Garver up the middle. It's going to fall between the shortstop and center fielder. Garver's going to pick up a single here to lead off for the Mustangs as that ball falls out in shallow center field. Mustangs going to have the base runner with the leadoff hit by Garver. That's going to bring Matt Godo up. Godo with a big 3-run home run in the earlier game against Platte Valley. Also had an RBI double.
Yeah, that 3-run homer really opened it up for Fort Morgan earlier today.
Fastball on the way by Monday. Ball 1.
Yeah, the one thing here, I mean, you're a junior pitcher. He had no varsity innings last year for Tyler Monday, primarily a catcher during limited playing time. You fall behind, and it's going to be a tough going here.
Monday slide steps, delivers, fastballs outside. 2-0 now the count on Godo. Coach Langford has had a chance to talk with him here as the season's now underway. Speed a big factor for this Mustangs team. He says he's got a lot of it and likes to use it. They ran a lot in the early game and would expect to see some runners in motion here tonight as well. Aggressive leads all early afternoon for the Mustangs, and we'll see what Garver does here with the count 2-0 on Godo. Pitch on the way, inside, swung on, hit down the left field line, foul ball, just foul. As Godo took a big cut at that.
Yeah, well, you saw earlier today, Godo's got a big, powerful swing, and right there, he laced that, but just out in front. And, you know, Monday has been in a position over the first 2 batters where he's got to groove it down the middle because he's fallen behind.
Yeah, good point. With that foul ball, 2-1 is now the count here on Matt Godo. He looks down to Coach Langford in the third base box. Pitch on the way by Monday. Hit up right center field. Soft tries to track it down, unable to do so as it falls in front of him. Garver's going to go first to third as Goto gets the signal and moves Garver around the bases and puts the Mustangs in scoring position.
Nice inside outswing there by Matt Goto. As right now, the Mustangs are in business here. No score, bottom of the first inning in this Fort Morgan Spring Classic, and they've got the first run of the game just 90 feet away, but this could be a big inning for the Mustangs the way they're going so far.
First and third for the Mustangs. Monday is falling behind, which is hurting him here early, as he now sets to deliver to Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Garver on third. Goto on first. 1-0 pitch as Monday sets and delivers. Inside and fouled off over the first base dugout. Evens up the count at 1-1. Monday's got decent velocity if he can stay in the strike zone.
That's it. Yeah, he can throw hard.
But yeah, you for him to get ahead early. 1-1 pitch on the way in the dirt, ball 2. As Fitzsimmons in that earlier game, unable to get a hit, had a fielder's choice, and flew out to center and to first. As he readies himself for the 2-1 pitch, he hits it back up the middle. That's going to bring in Garver for the first run here in tonight's ball game and give the Mustangs the early 1-0 lead.
I tell you, Josh, this is just a sign, and you saw it earlier. This is going to be one very good Fort Morgan Mustang baseball season, because they've got a nice lineup here.
Yes, they do, and the Mustangs last year finishing 16-6, 10-5 in Tri-Valley League play. And talking to Coach Langford, he's not going to be satisfied unless they improve on that record. So we expect some good things here from the Mustangs this year. Pitch by Monday to Aaron Anderson is fouled straight back. Monday doing a good job here with Anderson of getting ahead early with the first pitch strike. Fitzsimmons on first, Goto at second. Monday looks, now delivers. Anderson squares to bunt, instead pulls back, and the pitch is the ball. 1-1 the count on Anderson. Anderson left-handed swinging bat for the Mustangs.
And, Tyler Monday, he'll have a long leash as long as he's giving up base hits, not walking hitters. So, 3 singles to start the game.
Anderson squares again, pulls back. As the pitch is again a ball outside. 2-1 now the count on Anderson. Bottom half of the first inning, Mustangs lead 1-0 on the RBI single by Fitzsimmons. Monday comes to the set, checks the runner at second, now delivers the pitch. Looks good from here, but a little low from the umpire's point of view as it's called a ball. And Monday's well behind here again now as the count's 3-1 on Anderson, and Anderson's going to see a good pitch to hit. Pitch on the way. Swung on, a high fly ball, left center field. Left fielder Garcia for the Beat Diggers unable to come up with it as the ball hits the ground, and everybody's going to move up 90 feet.
Oh, that's going to be an error on Garcia. I don't know what happened there. It looked like he had an easy play on the ball, but didn't come down with it, and the bases are now loaded. That's just sloppy by the Beat Diggers on a routine fly ball. And Garcia's a very good athlete, but unless he lost it in the lights there.
Yeah, quite possible, or even just the twilight we're sitting here as the sun's setting. It's probably a scene that most of these players haven't seen this year as time's getting ready to change. They lost it in the lights, or just between the lights and the sky as things are darkening up here. As everybody moves up 90 feet, and the Mustangs now have the bases loaded. And Justin Flug, the Mustangs catcher, steps into the box and takes ball 1.
You got to help out your pitcher if you're the Beat Diggers.
That was a little bit of the issue for Platte Valley in that Beat Diggers game, is Platte Valley wasn't able to really handle the baseball and gave the Beat Diggers a lot of extra opportunities, and the Beat Diggers able to convert those into runs. Second pitch is also a ball. 2-0 the count as Monday sets in, delivers high and outside, ball 3. nowhere to put Fluke.
It's already a 1-0 game, but you can't blame Monday here. I mean, he's given up 3 base hits, but he was throwing strikes, and now you put a junior in his first varsity inning in a very bad position with that error in left field.
The 3-0 pitch on the way is a strike right down the middle. As Fluke's taking all the way. Counts now 3-1 on the Mustangs. Fluke as Monday delivers the pitch. Swung on and missed by Fluke, evens things up. 3-2 count. No outs here in this bottom half of the first inning. Mustangs have the bases loaded and are looking to extend this lead as they lead early 1-0. Monday delivers the full count pitch. Swung on and missed. Nowhere to go for Fluke. That's going to be the first out here of this inning.
Oh, that's a great job of Tyler Monday. You know how you and I were both pitchers. You much better than I was, but when bases loaded, 3-0, I mean, it seems like the plate is 5,000 feet away at that point.
Yes, it is. And the strike zone seems a heck of a lot smaller. Cole Frisbee steps up here, this number 6 hitter for the Mustangs with bases loaded, a power-hitting left-handed bat for the Mustangs. As the pitch delivered by Monday's outside, ball 1.
Again, you can follow us, KSIRsports.com, for the GameCast. Pitch by pitch. Click on the appropriate link in the appropriate game. It'll get you right there, KSIRsports.com.
Monday sets and delivers. Ball a little bit short in the dirt. Looks like he may have tried to take something off there.
Well, that's the thing. That's what we saw in the bullpen before the game, is that he short-armed a few of those balls. And when you try to place it like that, you're not even pitching. As you well know, you're aiming, and aiming never works at any level.
2-0 now the count as Monday sets, working from the stretch with bases loaded. 2-0 pitch on the way. There's a ball down low to Frisbee. 3-0 now the count.
Yeah, this is going to be tough for Tyler Monday to duplicate what he just did, come back from a 3-0 count and strike out the opposing hitter, especially facing a lefty.
3-0 pitch on the way right down Broadway Street. Called for the strike as Frisbee also taking all the way with the 3-0 count. 3-1 now with that strike. As Frisbee steps back in, Monday comes set. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed by Frisbee. Pitch was a little outside. Frisbee liked what he saw, unable to connect. As Monday's done just that, John, and filled this thing back up. 3-2 is the count. Monday sets, 3-2 pitch on the way. A fastball outside, hit the other way by Frisbee, fielded by the shortstop for the Beat Diggers, sent to second for the out and across the diamond as Monday gets himself out of the jam with a 6-4-3 double play. The Mustangs unable to convert base runners as they leave 3 on base. We've got 1 in the books. Mustangs lead the Beat Diggers 1-0. You're listening to Mustangs Baseball, B106, B106.com. Back here at Eddie Underwood Field, American Legion Park, where the Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Brush Beat Diggers as the 2012 high school baseball season's underway. Both teams playing earlier today, collecting wins against Platte Valley as they now play each other here tonight. 1-0 is our score with 1 in the books as Godo sets and delivers to Dylan Acosta for ball 1.
I got to tell you, that was a great job of pitching by Monday. That could have been a disastrous inning for Brush.
Really good. And for a kid that doesn't have many innings under his belt,
that's his first varsity inning.
He may prove that he's able to handle some of this pressure as he got the 6-4-3 double play to get out of trouble and end the inning. The 2-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed by Acosta, makes the count 2-1 as the Beat Diggers look to get runners on base and try to even this contest up as we're in the top of the second and the Mustangs trail 1-0. 2-1 pitch, a curveball high and outside, ball 3. As Godo's falling behind here to Acosta, 3-1. Wind up, pitch on the way. Outside corner fastball, good for a strike, evens things up, 3-2.
Now let's see if both pitchers are going to settle down after shaky first innings.
Get these early season jitters out of their system. The 3-2 pitch on the way, fouled off right side as Acosta stays alive.
And Godo, to my count, has already thrown 29 pitches, so he's getting up there early on.
I have the same, 18 balls, 11 strikes. It's 29 pitches here early.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad ratio. He's got to catch up and at least have as many strikes as balls. If not, he's going to be taken out of this game.
Full count pitch on the way from the windup, inside and gets away from Flug. That's going to be ball 4 and putting Acosta on base here for the Beat Diggers as they get their leadoff batter on base.
Well, that's now 3 walks and a hit batsman by the right-hander, the senior Matt Godo, with a 1-0 Fort Morgan lead here in the top of the second.
Daniel Soto, number 8 batter for Brush, comes to the plate as Godo sets in, delivers a curveball for strike 1.
Well, that's the best pitch he's thrown all game.
Really is. Talk about ratios, John. You'd like to see those 2-to-1 in the strikes to ball category where Godo sits now. He's got more balls than strikes. He's going to have some work to even that up, but does well here on the 0-1 pitch with the fastball on the inside part of the plate. Now 0-2 on Soto. Anderson holds on the runner at first as Godo tries to keep him close with the pickoff move. Costa able to get back as Godo now sets to deliver the 0-2 pitch. A breaking ball swung on and missed by Soto as Godo collects the strikeout.
I tell you, that pitch was lethal.
It's a pretty good breaking ball there by Godo as the Mustangs get their first out here in the top of the second inning.
Kyle Rosenbrock did not, well, he actually had 1 plate appearance in the first game.
I'll tell you what, John, we saw this kid throw late in that game, and he's got a live arm.
Yep, 5 strikeouts over 6 hitters. He got the save. And Rosenbrock with an 0-1 count there. So he walked and scored on a wild pitch in that 5-1 Brush victory over Platte Valley.
Costa off the bag. Pitch delivered by Godo's a strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-2 now is the count on Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock playing second in this ball game for the Beat Diggers as Godo now sets to deliver the 0-2 pitch. Curveball down low, ball 1.
Boy, that was close. That looked like they were going to
a little too close with 2 strikes to maybe take on Rosenbrock's part as Anderson holds on the runner at first. Not much of a lead there by Acosta as Godo delivers the 1-2 pitch. A fastball right down the middle, hit to the right side, not handled by Hernandez cleanly, but able to still get the out on the 4-3 putout. Acosta's going to advance to second as it looked like Hernandez was trying to get the quick double play but forgot to grab the baseball, but still had enough time to throw across to Anderson and get the out. Acosta's going to move up 90 feet and going to be in scoring position for the Beat Diggers.
Gregory Maris did not reach in the first game. He was 0 for 4, but he did reach in his first plate appearance of this game.
First pitch is a strike by Godo. As he sets and delivers the 0-1 pitch, that big breaking ball again for a strike, now 0-2.
I tell you, if he gets that going, Josh, that fastball is going to look that much better. One and 2 there, up and in with that fastball to Gregory Maris by Godo.
There's the batter for the Beat Diggers. Acosta at second as Godo sets, checks the runner. Now delivers the 1-2 pitch. Again, that big breaking ball. Everybody here in the ballpark thought it was a strike. Umpire didn't think so. Now ball 2. Langford wants an explanation. It looked as though all 9 guys on the Morgan team were headed to the dugout, but nonetheless.
I mean, if that missed by an inch, if even that.
2-2 pitch now on the way. A fastball high and outside. Ball 3 can bring this at-bat to a full count for Gregory Maris. As Godo sets, now delivers. Breaking ball, ball 4. And what looked to be a strikeout now has led to the Beat Diggers having 2 runners here on base with 2 outs in the top half of the second. Acosta at first, Maris on first with the walk, and that's going to bring Eric Garcia to the plate, left-handed stick. Eric's first at bat, he collected a walk as Godo was struggling to find the strike zone there early, and here Godo does a good job to get ahead early with the strike and the fastball on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count on Garcia as Godo sets, now delivers. Another fastball on the outside part of the plate, a little low. It's going to be ball one. 1-1 the count on Garcia.
Well, he's approaching the 50-pitch mark here in the second inning. That's not good.
No, and if it's anything like the first game, Langford took Mendez out with the no-hitter. The Mustangs quick were going to backpick. They did just the same thing in the Platte Valley game and got the same result. Caught the Brush Beat Digger Mares sleeping at first, and that backpick's going to end this inning. As Mares gets picked off, with Anderson coming in behind, and with runners in scoring position, the Beat Diggers are going to leave two stranded. We've got 1.5 in the books. Mustangs lead the Beat Diggers 1-0. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Mustangs Baseball, B106, B106.com. Josh Miller alongside John Beltran back here at Eddie Underwood Field, American Legion Park, as Tyler Monday sets and delivers his first pitch to David Mendez. Mendez, big, strong swing here, but swings through it as Monday collects the first strike. Mendez in the earlier game was a pitcher, 11 strikeouts, and helped himself with a solo home run. The first run put on the board this year for the Mustangs was Mendez's solo home run, as Monday's second pitch here is a ball, and he winds up and sets to deliver the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit hard to third base. Fielded by Hirschfeld, thrown across the diamond for the easy 5-3 put out as Mendez grounds out. That's going to bring Ulysses Hernandez up for the Mustangs.
1-0 Fort Morgan in the bottom of the second inning in Game 3 of this Fort Morgan Spring Classic. Again, you can follow us, KSIRsports.com, for the Gamecast. You're going to love that. Click on the appropriate link here with one down in the bottom of the second inning.
Ulysses 2 hits earlier in the ball game today. Hits one hard and far but foul as a couple losing odds from the crowd. He got all of 5'5" into him, but that ball was foul. As he's now down 0-1 here early. Monday doesn't like the baseball. The umpire threw his way. He sends it back for another one. Bottom half of the second inning. Mustangs lead 1-0. 0-1 pitch on the way by Monday. Inside and low, ball one. Monday, a big boy, throws hard. A little bit of a control issue here early, but as we've mentioned, not much of a pitcher as he's now pitching his second ever inning for the Beat Diggers. 1-1 pitch on the way by Monday in the dirt and outside. Well blocked by Blake.
Yeah, he's making Trevor Blake work, but Blake has to expect that because he's a second-year catcher as a senior, and Monday's really a first-year pitcher as a junior.
2-1 pitch delivered by Monday, swung on and hit high to left field. Should be easy here. Routine fly ball caught by Garcia. Garcia did have trouble in the last inning with the lights, but no trouble here as the Beat Diggers get the second out here in the bottom half of the inning on the put out to left field. Going to bring up Mr. Franco for the Mustangs, third baseman. First pitch by Monday is a ball. 1-0 here on Franco.
All of a sudden, Monday's retired 4 in a row after giving up 3 singles, and then the fourth batter reached on an error.
The 1-0 pitch delivered is also down in low, ball 2. 2-0 on Misael Franco, his first at-bat in this ball game. And the Mustangs will be back to the top of their order with Nick Garver. The 2-0 pitch on the way by Monday. Fastball down and at the knees, just a little low. 3-0. We expect Franco here to take 3-0 count. 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 3-0 pitch on the way, right down Broadway. Strike one.
Well, that time Monday just reared back. I mean, nothing to lose on a 3-0 pitch, but that's the way he's got to throw every pitch.
Yep. See if Monday can battle back into this at-bat as he did in the last inning, falling behind. 3-1 pitch, hit right back up the middle by Franco. Diving attempt by Rosenbrook. He's unable to come up with it as the ball squirts into center field, and Misael is going to get a base hit. And the Mustangs have a base runner with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second as Nick Garver comes to the plate. I'll tell you what, Rosenbrook at second, he's an athlete.
I tell you, he was a great football player as a freshman for the Bee Diggers. Very good basketball player as well, and you saw what he did there. He nearly made a sparkling play in the hole at second.
Garber 1 for 1 in this ballgame with a single. Takes ball 1.
Bottom of the second inning, Fort Morgan with a 1-0 lead over the Brush Bee Diggers.
Monday checks the runner at first, Franco. Now delivers the 1-0 pitch. Foul straight back. Good fastball by Monday. A little up at the letters. Garber liked what he saw. Fouls it straight back. 1-1's now the count on Garber. Coach Langford runs through his signs.
By the way, the winner of this game will play on Saturday at 1 o'clock against the winner of tomorrow's pool between Conifer University and Meade.
One-0 pitch, a curveball hit right back up the middle, picked up by Rosenbrock. Unbelievable play as he's able to flip it on to his shortstop, Mayers, for the putout. That's going to end the bottom half of the second inning. The Mustangs leave a runner on base. We've got 2 in the books. Mustangs lead 1-0. We'll take a quick break. B106, B106.com.
Along with Josh Miller, I'm John Beltran as we head to the third inning of the Fort Morgan Spring Classic. This is game number 3. And the Brush Bee Diggers trail the Fort Morgan Mustangs by a score of 1-0. The Mustangs scoring their run in the first inning. And it's Nick Garber singled and crossed home plate. As the Mustangs got singles from Garber, Matt Godo, and Michael Fitzsimmons, who drove him home. The pitch swung on that line in the left field for a base hit by Eric Garcia on the first pitch of the top of the third inning. And the Bee Diggers pick up their first hit of the game, and Garcia is now 1 for 1 after walking in the opening frame. That'll bring up Mitch Tormolin, who struck out looking in the first. Here's the pitch, and that is low. 1 ball and no strikes.
Not a bad spot there by Godo, as he's now settled in after being a bit wild there in the first part of this ballgame.
Garcia with a lot of speed. He had 2 stolen bases against Platte Valley, and that breaking ball's in the dirt, but gets away just a couple of feet from Flug. He'll track it down. 2 balls and no strikes to Mitch Tormolin. Your one-stop center for projects around your home office or yard is Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. 2-0 pitch, throw back to first, and back in diving is Garcia. You know that Godo's going to try to keep him close, although Flug, he's got a nice arm out there behind the plate. The pitch, swag, and I just tied him up on a fastball. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike to the Bee Digger first baseman, Mitch Tormolin. We're in the third. Fort Morgan 1, Brush 0. Fort Morgan had a huge opportunity in the first to score more runs. Grounded right side. Henderson backhanded, steps on the bag. No throw to second as Garcia advances 1 base, but a nice play by Anderson at first. And there's 1 out for Tyler Monday. Monday was hit by a pitch in the opening inning. The stretch by Godo. And the pitch, and the breaking ball is upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes.
Anderson may have had the chance there to get the lead runner, but did the wise thing to get the out as Garcia advanced there for the Bee Diggers to second.
Swag, and Miss Monday was late on that fastball. The count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Both of these teams are 1-0 going into this game. 3-step lead for Garcia. Godo delivers. Swag, and I missed another fastball right at letter level. And Monday was late. It's 1-2.
As big as Monday is, that's a hard pitch for a big power hitter to lay off that fastball up in the zone.
Yeah, it looks way too tempting. Monday awaits the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got blown away by Matt Godo. And there's 2 down here in the top of the third inning. That'll bring up the 5th place hitter, Ryan Hirschfeld. He struck out looking with the bases loaded and 1 out in the first inning. Garcia leads. The pitch, breaking ball is a beauty on the outer half for a strike. and it's 0-1.
Godo's really established that breaking pitch. He can throw for a strike when he needs to.
He's economizing his pitches here in the third. Garcia with a big lead. Fitzsimmons cheating a little bit towards the bag, now lays off the pitch. Fastball is over but low. 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, is this the same guy who struggled in the first? Because I tell you, now it looks like he's in a groove.
He really is. He's established he can locate that ball with his fastball down at the knees, and that breaking ball is nasty.
1-1. Fastball, a strike on the inside corner, backing Hirschfeld off the plate. And it's 1-2. And the B-Diggers are just trying to stay close here because Fort Morgan's got the more experienced pitcher. Now Godo's throwing some clutch pitches, especially with Garcia in scoring position. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is grounded sharply to short. Fitzsimmons has it, sets, throws, and the inning is over. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. We play 2.5 in this game for the Fort Morgan Spring Classic at Eddie Underwood Field. It's Fort Morgan 1, Brush nothing on B106 and B106.com. 1 run on 4 hits for the Mustangs. No errors. They've left 3 on base. The B-Diggers no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. They've left 5 on base as we head to the bottom of the third inning from Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan. In the Spring Classic game, it's Fort Morgan 1, Brush nothing. And stepping to the plate for the Mustangs in this half will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. It's going to be a tough challenge here for Tyler Monday, the junior right-hander. Matt Godo, Michael Fitzsimmons, and Aaron Anderson. Godo singled in the opening frame.
Yeah, he had that ball hit out to right center field. Good inside-out approach on that single.
Swung on and driven deep into right center, and ranging over is Soto, makes the catch, nearly overran the baseball. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the third inning. That ball was twisting towards Soto, making it that much easier. That'll bring up Mike Fitzsimmons. Fitzsimmons single, driving in the run in the first inning.
Monday's really started to settle in as well, John, as he's now up to 47 pitches and 24 strikes.
And with 1 out, I don't know if we had an issue behind the plate. Hopefully it's not one of the fans getting a little bit too boisterous over there. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swung on and grounded up the middle. The shortstop, Maris, to his left, has got it. Sidearm to first. He's got a gun. There's 2 down. Fitzsimmons is retired. 2 pitches, 2 outs. And, you know, Tyler Monday gets that defensive support. There's going to be a close game throughout, Josh.
Yeah, and I think for both of these pitchers early on in this ball game, a little trouble finding the strike zone. But early here in this season, a little bit of the pregame or preseason jitters as Monday's just stepping off the basketball court. Probably hasn't had much time to throw a whole lot of pitches.
Here's Aaron Anderson, the left-handed hitter, the pitch, and took something off it. It's a strike on the outside corner. Anderson hit that fly ball towards the left fielder, Garcia, and Garcia misplayed it. It dropped for an error, the only one of the game. The offering in the dirt. Count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. I mean, this game changed, really, when, with the bases loaded and 1 out, Monday induced Cole Frisbee into a 6-4-3 double play. Could have been a 3-4-0 game easily. Swung on, tapped off the end of the bat towards the third baseman, picked up by the pitcher Monday, throw to first, and that is in time to retire Anderson. An excellent play to his right by Tyler Monday, a 1-2-3 bottom of the third. Let's head to the fourth. It is Fort Morgan 1, Brush nothing. This is B106 and B106.com. John Beltran, Josh Miller back from Eddie Underwood Field in Fort Morgan. We head to the top of the fourth inning. Josh, a good one so far. Mustangs leading the B-Diggers 1-0, and both pitchers have really settled down.
Yeah, it's really a good ball game. Both these pitchers a little wild early as they settle in here in the start of this baseball season. I mean, really for Monday on the B-Digger side of things, he pulled his belt tight, got that 6-4-3 double play to get out of that bases-loaded jam, and he hasn't looked back since. Godo settled in as well as the B-Diggers haven't been able to score here early in this game.
The breaking ball is down and into Trevor Blake, who grounded back to the mound with the bases loaded in the opening frame.
Both teams have had chances, that's for sure.
1-0 pitch. Fastball is down and away. It's 2-0. And the temperature temperature's going to be dropping, as we can feel it right now, so that certainly can have an effect on the pitchers as well. 2-0. Swing and a miss. I don't know why he went after that with a breaking ball in the dirt. Would have been a 3-0 count, but now it's 2-1 to the Beet Diggers senior catcher, Trevor Blake.
Yeah, you'd like to see your hitter in 2-0 count. Look for a good pitch to hit. That wasn't it, but helped out Godo there by swinging at that pitch.
From the right side, swung on and grounded right back to Godo. Leaps to get that ball, throws to first, and that's one out here in the top of the fourth inning. Matt Godo fielding his position well. He's retired the last 4 Beet Diggers, and that will bring up Dylan Acosta, who walked and was stranded at second in the second inning.
Yeah, and for Godo, he was almost at 50 pitches through 2 innings, and now here we're in the fourth, and he's only up to 62, so he's really minimized and been real efficient here as of late.
Here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball is outside to Dylan Acosta, and now at 31-31 in terms of ball and strikes, but now at 32-31 after ball 1. The offering, that is right there, but a little bit low. Boy, the fans don't like it. That looks like it got the knees. It's 2-0.
There's been a couple of those pitches, but Mr. Umpire has established his strike zone, and he's been pretty consistent.
Swag and a miss and a fastball up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike to Dylan Acosta. And the Beet Diggers offense struggling here, but they're facing one of the better pitchers. The breaking ball is a beauty. On the inner half for a strike, it's 2-2, and it froze Acosta. And my theory is, Josh, is that hitting is usually behind pitching at the beginning of the season at this level. A little bit high, 3-2.
Yeah, it's going to take these hitters a little bit to get their swings back, especially all these kids coming off the basketball court, and they've only had 2 or 3 days to practice some of them.
Swing and a miss by Acosta. The ball was in the glove by the time he uncorked that one, and he strikes out. 2 down. Godo's retired 5 in a row and has struck out 5 in the game.
Mustang's pitching staff, or the pitchers we've seen there early in the game and a half, have established they can throw the fastball with some velocity.
Daniel Soto cannot catch up to that fastball. It's 0-1. 1-0. Fort Morgan leads Brush in the top of the fourth inning of this Fort Morgan Spring Classic. The pitch in the dirt with a breaking ball, 1-1. Once again, if you want a complete game cast, I mean, it's an awesome feature that we've got for both Fort Morgan Mustangs and Brush Beet Diggers. We'll have links up on multiple sites, but right now it's on KSIRsports.com. Go to KSIRsports.com and click on the team you want to follow, and then click on the appropriate game. 2-1 after the curveball was high. Swing and a miss. 2-2 with a fastball. If you're Godo right now, 2-2. Don't even worry about the curveball. Just throw the fastball. Daniel Soto right now is having trouble catching up to the fastball.
I imagine it's fastball on its way here.
And he threw the fastball, but he overthrew it. High, 3-2 to the Beet Digger right fielder Daniel Soto, who struck out in the second. Fort Morgan's lone run came in the first inning. Here is the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball letter high. The inning is over. 1-2-3. 6 strikeout for Daniel Soto. 3.5 complete in this Fort Morgan Spring Classic. It's Fort Morgan 1, Brush nothing. This is B106 and B106.com. Tyler Monday begins his 4th inning of work for the Beet Diggers as Brush trails Fort Morgan 1-0. It'll be Justin Flug against Monday. Monday's retired 4 in a row. And Matt Godo, Fort Morgan, has retired 6 in a row. Flug struck out in the first inning. The pitch, fastball on the outside corner for a strike. It's 0-1. You know, some of the best pitchers in the history of baseball had their worst innings in the first inning. And it's just good evidence here. Fastball, a strike on the outer half, 0-2, that whether you're a great pitcher or an average pitcher, if you get through that first inning, if you got good stuff, I mean, you're a different pitcher afterwards. That's what Godo and Monday are showing. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fisted foul over the screen on the curveball. And the count remains at 0-2.
Yeah, you hope when your pitchers struggle to get off to a quick start that it doesn't cost your team and put your team in a situation where you're playing catch-up the entire rest of the game, and both pitchers did a good job to control that.
Swung on and fisted foul again. Mains at 0-2. See T.O. Charlie's for a great used car and truck. If you don't see what you want on the lot, they'll find it for you at T.O. Charlie, 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. The 0-2 pitch to Flug. Here it is. In the dirt with a breaking ball. The count is 1-2.
Flug thought about going after that pitch, but thought better there and able to hold up on his swing.
We're in the bottom of the fourth inning. Fort Morgan 1, Brush nothing. And the 1-2 offering in the dirt again. Short on that one. 2-2 to the Mustang catcher, Justin Flug. And committed to serving those in production. Ag, Premier Farm Credit, is the gold standard in ag lending. Beat Digger defense, for the most part, has been very effective as well. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is upstairs.
Monday did a good job here with Flug to get ahead 0-2, but he's now falling behind as the count's now full.
Hard to believe, as much as Monday struggled in the first inning. He hasn't walked anybody yet, but he's gone to a few full counts, including one right now. 3-2 to Flug. The offering. Swung on, grounded to the right side. The first baseman, Tormolin, plays it off his left arm. It goes into foul territory into right field. And that's the second Beat Digger error. Tough hop for Tormolin. But Justin Flug is going to reach. That'll bring up Cole Frisbee, who grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning.
Frisbee's shown here early. He can hit the ball all over the ballpark. He went the other way in the earlier game, and as well as he's going to pull the ball. So it'll be interesting to see with the runner on first and nobody out, which Coach Langford tries to do here.
Tyler Monday looking in. That did take a tough hop on Tormolin, but you got to block that with your body when it does that. Squaring the bunt, lays a beautiful one down the third base line, and Hirschfeld cannot field it. Tried to glove it and tried to do it all in one motion. Will give him an infield hit on a very nice bunt by Cole Frisbee. First and second for the Mustangs. Here comes David Mendez. And, Josh, we're seeing right here how important defense is. The Beat Diggers have made some nice defensive plays, but now a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, and I'm not sure with the bad hop there for the Brush first baseman, but this is a new infield grass. And Coach Langford discussed that in between games. They've had a little bit of issues at practice with some tricky hops because the sod still has its seams as they planted this grass in late October.
So Mendez stepping in. He grounded to third in his first plate appearance. First and second, nobody out. 1-0 in the fourth. Fort Morgan lead. Squaring the bunt, foul at the plate. No balls and 1 strike.
Big thing for Monday here is going to be to not let it get to him as he's established he can get out of a jam.
No balls, 1 strike to David Mendez. Looking back is Monday. The pitch, that is bunted right back towards the mound. Monday's going to throw to third for the force. That'll go 1-5. And quite frankly, Josh, that was bunted way too hard by the batter, David Mendez.
Yeah, it really was. That's something you don't want to do there in that sacrifice situation. Ideally, with the runner at first and second in that bunt situation, you want that ball to get down the third baseline and pull that third baseman away from his bag to eliminate that forced opportunity, but the Mustangs unable to do so there.
Here's the stretch with runners at first and second for Ulysses Hernandez, now 1 out, and that fastball is up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Yuli popped to left. In the second inning. The offering. Bounces it up there. Gets away from Blake all the way to the screen. 2-0 as runners advance to second and third. Frisbee at third and now David Mendez at second. With a ninth place hitter on deck.
Mustangs with 2 runners here in scoring position. Be big here for Hernandez to pick up these runners.
Bounces in again. 3-0. With Isael Franco on deck.
Ackley Building Centers, your one-stop shop for projects around your home office and yard, Ackley Building Center.
The stretch and the 3-0 pitch, and he grooved it in there for a strike. It is 3-1. The Mustangs looking to add to a 1-0 lead.
I'm surprised here, John, that the Beat Diggers don't have their infield in. The middle part of the defense is playing pretty far back in this situation to try to eliminate the run from scoring.
Yeah, there's no doubt, but maybe they want to avoid the big inning. But you're right, when you can't hit the ball, and we're already more than midway through the game, you want to cut off any runs.
Frisbee's not the fastest of runners at third, which may be the reason they're playing about halfway as opposed to in on the grass, but nonetheless, interesting to see what comes of this.
The stretch and the 3-1 to Hernandez. That's a fastball for a strike. Belt high, it's 3-2.
As a coach, you don't like to see it, and you don't want to see it all year, but Monday's established when he falls behind, he's able to battle back. And we'll get with full count here to see if he's able to get out of this jam.
3-2 pitch. Outside, in the dirt, in fact. It's a walk to Ulysses Hernandez, and the bases are loaded. They're loaded for Misael Franco.
The number 9 hitter here for the Mustangs, he had a single back in his first at-bat. If he does the same here, the Mustangs are going to extend their lead.
With 1 out, the pitch, low and away with a fastball. It's 1-0. To Franco, the Mustangs looking to stretch out a 1-0 lead. Their lone run came in the first inning. And right now, Tyler Monday getting into a little bit of trouble. Thrown 69 pitches so far. Can he get another double play? The offering. And that bounces all the way to the screen. Here comes Frisbee towards the plate. They've got a play. The slide, the tag, and he's out. Frisbee is out at the plate. He nearly slid under the tag, but it ricocheted right back to Trevor Blake. The runners advance to second and third, but now there are 2 down. So he might be able to get out of this again.
Yeah, he proved early in that late in that first inning that with that 6-4-3, he found a way to get out of it, and he looks like he's about to find a way out of this one.
And the pitch, low. It says 2-0 on the board. I've got 3-0.
Yeah, that's do I.
To Misael Franco. And the 3-0 pitch. That looks like a strike. It is, with a fastball in the outer half. And it's 3-1.
Both teams have had opportunities, but outside of the Mustangs scoring early in that first.
Fastball is up and in. It's a 5-pitch walk to Misael Franco, and the bases are loaded. Mendez at third, Hernandez at second, Franco at first. That'll bring up Nick Garber, who singled and scored and grounded into a force out, and the fastball is just a little bit low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
For all of your auto supply needs, stop by Central Auto Parts at West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan.
And the offering. Oh, that ball hit him. The hit-by pitch is going to score a run. Got him on the lower left leg, it looked like, and no way that Garber could get out of the way on that 1-0 pitch. And now, with Mendez scoring, the Mustangs lead the Beat Diggers 2-0. Bases remain loaded for Matt Godo, who singled and popped to right, and he can break this wide open.
He really can. He had a big three-run home run earlier today out to left center field. 343 in that left center gap with these new BB Core bats. We haven't seen the balls jumping like they usually do off the old BESR bats, but nonetheless, Godo proved earlier he can still hit the ball out of the ballpark.
So Godo with the bases reloaded, and the Mustangs leading the Beat Diggers 2-0. Well, you can only dodge so many bullets, and that's part of it here. But let's see if Monday escapes the inning with only a 2-0 game. Not too bad for the junior making his first varsity start.
No, not at all. And a couple of errors here that the Beat Diggers have made has led to some extra opportunities for the Mustangs. Mustangs haven't taken advantage of it as Coach Langford would probably like to see, but nonetheless, they lead here 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth.
Here's the stretch by Monday. The pitch to Godo, and the breaking ball is a beauty. That just sailed in there for a strike. I don't think Godo was expecting that whatsoever because it froze him there. No balls and one strike. Godo once again at 1 for 2 in the game. Bases are loaded. 2-0 Fort Morgan. Monday delivers. Fastball down and away. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, follow us on KSIRSports.com for the complete gamecast. All season long, you can follow the Mustangs and the Beat Diggers. We'll have links to the Mustangs on B106.com for all the conference games. Swing and fouled off the mask of Trevor Blake. It is 1-2 to Matt Godo. You know, as soon as he saw that pitch, I think he was thinking 6-0. Because that was right up in his zone.
Yeah, he took a big cut at it. I'm interested here to see the Brush defense because both of Godo's at-bats, those balls have headed right at the scoreboard, and they've left the gap wide open as the center fielder has shifted towards the left field line.
Breaking balls in the dirt, blocked by Blake, and it's 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, 2-0. And here's the stretch by Monday. And the offering. He overthrew that fastball. It's very high, and 3-2. And no place to put Matt Godo.
One thing Monday's established is he likes the 3-2 count.
Yeah.
Good or bad, he likes the 3-2 count.
Well, again, I mean, he has been pretty much in control. He struggled this inning, though. Here's the pitch. Oh, not even close. He overthrew it. It's a 6-pitch walk. Godo drives in a run with a walk. Scoring is Hernandez. And we're going to have a pitching change for the Beat Diggers. This is the second visit of the inning.
Not a bad outing for Monday in his first ever high school game on the mound. Kept his team in the baseball game. Defense hasn't necessarily helped him, which has forced him to overwork here. And I like the move here by the Brush coach early in this season. Already up to 82 pitches, save the kid's arm, and make the change.
This is KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan. Let's take a break with a score in the bottom of the fourth inning. It's Fort Morgan 3, Brush nothing on B106. And Ryan Hirschfeld had a lot of starts last year as a freshman. In fact, he went 5-0 in regular season play before he got beat by La Junta 8-2 in the opening round of the playoffs. And he is the new pitcher, now a sophomore, for the Beat Diggers. I mean, if Tyler Monday can establish anything this season, you've already seen some of the Beat Digger pitchers. They could be a pretty deep staff. We know that Fort Morgan is going to have an excellent staff based on what you've seen out of David Mendez and Matt Godo, and they still haven't even thrown all their arms yet. But right now, we're in the bottom of the third inning. John Beltran with Josh Miller, 3-0 in favor of the Mustangs. They've scored 2 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The bases are loaded, and Mike Fitzsimmons at the plate, a key batter for the Beat Diggers.
Yeah, and you don't envy Hirschfeld here, who's got to come in with the bases loaded, 2 outs, a little bit cold coming from the bag at third. A lot of these Beat Diggers and Mustangs, maybe they're just young, I'm not sure, but half these kids don't even have sleeves on, and I'm starting to get cold up here in the press box. But
yeah.
Hirschfeld, no sleeves on, coming from third without much time to warm up. Be interesting to see how this works out, walking into the bases loaded situation.
Fitzsimmons singled and then grounded to short. Wide of the pitch. Fastball is outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Michael Fitzsimmons. At third is Franco. At second, Garber. At first is Godo. Ryan Hirschfeld, the right-hander, delivers. Fastball is outside. It's 2-0. And Hirschfeld is a control pitcher. He's got very easy mechanics. But again, like I said, it's a cold night. You only get those 8 warm-up pitches. 2-0 offering. That's right there for a strike. Down the middle at the knees, it's 2-1.
Monday and Hirschfeld switching spots here as Monday heads to third.
And the 2-1 offering. And the breaking ball is inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Fitzsimmons more than likely will be taking. Boy, that was a terrible pitch. He just threw it in the dirt all the way to the screen. It's another bases-loaded walk, and Beat Digger pitchers are coming apart here. Scoring is Franco, And it's now a 4-0 Fort Morgan lead in the bottom of the fourth inning. Here comes Aaron Anderson, who is 0 for 2. Reached on an air by the left fielder Garcia, then grounded back to the mound.
Yeah, Anderson can really blow this thing open if you can find a gap in that outfield with the bases loaded. Good speed on the pass for the Mustangs.
Winding the pitch. Fastball off the glove of Blake all the way to the screen, and scoring without a throw is going to be Nick Garber. Go to the third, and Fitzsimmons to second off the wild pitch. 5-0 in favor of the Mustangs. So Hirschfeld down in the count 1-0. And that pitch is inside, 2 balls and no strikes.
With both pitchers here tonight, and even in the earlier games, it definitely took everybody about an inning to settle in, and with Hirschfeld walking into this bases-loaded situation, he's proven to be a little bit wild as well.
Well, he's used to being a starter. Fastball inside corner for a strike, thigh high, and it's 2-1. So right now, this is Matt Goto's game to lose because he's gone 4 strong innings. It's a 5-0 lead, and the Beat Digger pitchers have struggled here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And the breaking ball is up and away. 3-1. An error, a single, fielder's choice, 2 walks, a hit batsman, and 2 more walks. So we've had 4 walks and a hit batsman in the inning. Make it 5 walks and a hit batsman in the inning. The 3-1 pitch is down and in. And Aaron Anderson reaches. And the bases are reloaded for Justin Flug. He's the 10th hitter of the inning.
You don't necessarily want to see a bunch of good pitches to hit and help out Morgan here, but you at least want to try to put themselves in a situation to try to get themselves out as opposed to helping them out and putting them on base.
Well, that fastball's a strike right down the middle, and it's 0-1 to Justin Flug. 5-0 Fort Morgan. They've tallied 4 in the bottom of this fourth inning. The pitch swung on and lined down the left field line, and that is going to be foul. Just foul. Whew. I mean, that must have missed by a smidgen because it looked like Josh Langford was waving everybody around, but it hooked foul. It is 0-2 to Justin Flug. And keep in mind that Fort Morgan's only hit was about a 40-foot bunt by Cole Frisbee.
Yeah.
I mean, they haven't hit the ball this inning. The Beat Diggers are giving them the runs.
No, and that's just it. You'd like to see at least Morgan try to get themselves out as opposed to helping them with the errors and the walks.
Here is the 0-2 pitch to Flug, and the breaking ball bounces all the way to the screen, and scoring and in on a slide is going to be Matt Goto. Or check that. That looks like a courtesy runner out there. Nonetheless, it's 6-0. And the runners advance to second and third. Yeah, Goto had a courtesy runner out there, and that was James Martins, who crossed home plate. And now it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Justin Flug. The pitch, fastball just outside, 2-2. So the Mustangs with a healthy 6-0 lead. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, low, 3-2. Well, Hirschfeld's got to throw a strike here. This is getting tough now for the Beat Diggers. Wind, and the 3-2 pitch. Swung on. That ball is grounded to the third baseman. Monday, throw to first in time. And Flug is retired. However, 1 run, checked it, 5 runs on 1 hit. There was a Beat Digger error and 2 men left. Let's head to the 5th inning with the score. Fort Morgan, 6. Brush nothing on B106 and B106.com. John Beltran, Josh Miller as we head to the top of the 5th inning. And what was a very good ball game now is kind of gone stale because Beat Digger pitchers struggled in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now the Beat Diggers trail the game. Matt Goto's in firm control, having thrown 74 pitches. And it is now a 6-0 Mustang lead.
For Mustang fans, it's what you want to see. The Mustangs leading here by 6 in the top of the 5th. The Beat Diggers not so much, but they really shot themselves in the foot with a lot of extra opportunities here.
No doubt that fastball is a strike to Kyle Rosenbrock on the inside corner. It's 0-1, and Godo's red hot. He's retired 6 in a row. Rosenbrock grounded to second in his opening at bat. Here's the wind and pitch. That's a fastball right there. It's 0-2.
The unfortunate part for the Beat Diggers is Godo's really settled down here and controlled this baseball game these last couple innings, and as he's 0-2 here on Rosenbrock.
Curveball is swung on, grounded right back to Godo to his left, tosses to first, and there is one down here in the top of the 5th inning. And Godo has retired 7 in a row. And that'll bring up Gregory Maris, who has walked twice and was picked off in the 2nd inning.
The Mustangs ran that back pick in the earlier game, and it was successful here again with Maris.
And the fastball is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes.
Catch that trail runner sleeping, it'll get you out of a jam, and that's just what happened for the Mustangs in the earlier part of this ballgame.
Fastball bounces in 2-0. I mean, Godo began the game throwing, I believe it was 9 or 10 consecutive balls.
Yep. Yeah, it was.
And the pitch. Whoa, boy, that hit Maris, and let's see where it hit him. It hit him in the helmet, maybe around the left ear flap. And looks like he'll be okay. I just got away from Matt Godo on that 2-0 pitch. So Maris has reached for the 3rd time in the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have an official at-bat yet this season, in this ballgame.
Yeah, he was 0 for 4 against Platte Valley. They're going to check out Maris to make sure he's okay. He ran down to first base. Obviously, he was smarting a little bit. Let's see if he's going to stay in the game. I'm sure he wants to stay in the game. It hurts a lot more when it's about 30-some-odd degrees.
Yeah, it looks like got it right above the ear, so his ear's probably ringing. As the coaches talk to him about the first base box area.
For all of your title needs, visit Tim Weimer at Northern Colorado Title, 205 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan, and stop by 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan. Letter jackets, T-shirts, banners, and more at Bijou T-Quest. They're also your local experts customizing your team's sports apparel. That's Bijou T-Quest. So Eric Garcia will step in with 1 out once they determine whether Gregory Maris actually stays in the game. Looks like he's okay. He's putting the helmet back on. And that was kind of a late reaction, but maybe he reacted late because when you react late off a pitch like that, it's usually because you're anticipating another pitch. I think he was anticipating that ball curving.
Yeah. Yeah, that ball just got away from Godo and ran up and in and tied on Maris, who looks to be okay.
Well, Garcia's had a nice game offensively. He's walked and singled. He's the lone left-handed hitter in the lineup for the Beat Diggers. Godo had retired 7 in a row. The stretch still back to first. He's already picked Maris off once. Maris back in standing. This will be a little bit tougher to pick him off because he's the only base runner. And the pitch, low and away. 1 ball and no strikes to Eric Garcia. 6-0 Fort Morgan. We are in the top half of the 5th inning of the Fort Morgan Spring Classic. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. And the count is level at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good swing there by Garcia. Just came up empty. Beat Diggers have left 5 runners on base up until this point in the ballgame.
Godo, throw back to first. Back in standing is Maris the pitch. Fastball is up and away. Ball 2, strike 1 on the Beat Digger left fielder Eric Garcia. 1 run in the first and 5 more in the 4th for Fort Morgan. Looking to go to 2-0 and advance to a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. The pitch. Breaking ball is lifted in the foul territory up the third base side. Fluke makes the catch. It might have been lifted about 25 feet in the air. A very shallow fly ball in terms of the trajectory, and there's 2 down. That'll bring up Mitch Tormolen. And that play looked easy from here, but, you know, the thing is, Josh, when it doesn't have much trajectory, you got to make sure that you're right on top of it.
Yeah, no, there wasn't much under that ball, and with the left-handed hitter, that ball was tailing away from Flug, the Mustangs catcher, and he did a good job there to stay with it and make the play.
That fastball is a ball to Mitch Tormolen. 1 ball and no strikes. The offering. Fastball over but low. 2-0. Tormolen is struck out looking and grounded to first. 2 balls, no strikes to the Beet Digger first baseman. The pitch and the breaking ball is outside. 3-0. Godo has not walked a hitter since the second inning. He walked 4 over the first 2 innings.
I'd imagine just where Godo's at in his pitch count now, up and above 85 pitches, that this is probably going to be one of his last innings.
That was pitch number 88, a strike. 3-1 to Mitch Tormolen. The offering. Swung on and fisted on the ground towards the second baseman. It's going to be a tough play. Godo has got to throw the first, and he grabs it for the out because that ball was cute out there. Godo came to a slide, spun, and threw out Tormolen. The ball just died out there. What an excellent play by the Mustang pitcher.
Great play.
No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning of the Fort Morgan Spring Classic. It is Fort Morgan 6, Brush nothing on B106 and B106.com. All right, looks like the Beet Diggers have some changes here defensively. Ryan Hirschfeld is now at first base. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning of the Fort Morgan Spring Classic. But the Beet Diggers are still waiting on a pitcher. And let's see who's stepping out. Looks like Mitch Tormolen. They'll just switch places here. And Mitch Tormolen will be on the mound for Brush.
Yeah, Hirschfeld walked into a tough situation there in the bottom of the 4th to try to get out of that jam for the Beet Diggers. Never looked like he really ever did settle in.
So here we go. Tormolen, who had 1 varsity inning last year on the mound. Let me tell you, he could throw pretty hard. I mean, he's their starting quarterback, so he certainly is used to being the field general, let's put it that way. And he will face Cole Frisbee, David Mendez, and Ulysses Hernandez. Toes starting to get a little bit cold there, Josh? At least mine are.
Yeah,
maybe yours are better protected.
Yeah, a little cooler than the 55-degree start here earlier that we had, but nonetheless, the weather looks like it'll cooperate the rest of this Mustang Classic as we
it's going to be Saturday. Yeah, the temperature's going to be in the 60s coming up tomorrow and Saturday, so it's going to be a beautiful weekend. Get out here for more Mustang and Beet Digger baseball because both teams will be in action coming up on Saturday. If the score holds up, the Beet Diggers will play on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on KSOR and KSOR.com against the number 2 team from tomorrow's pool involving Conifer University and Meade, and Fort Morgan would play the number 1 team from that pool. Those 3 teams will play tomorrow in 3 more games. Follow the GameCast here on KSORsports.com. Click on the appropriate link, and then this Fort Morgan Brush game, the pitch, and that bounces in. 1 ball and no strikes to Cole Frisbee.
I think new level pitching is key, but both coaches have to be happy here as they both have 2 pretty strong staffs heading into the season.
Swung on, grounded on the right side to the first baseman Hirschfeld, and he steps on the bag for the out. There's 1 down here in the bottom half of the 5th inning as Cole Frisbee is now 1 for 3 as he did reach in a bunt single in that 4th inning. That'll bring up David Mendez, who is 0 for 2, grounded to third, and reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 4th inning. Righty against righty. Wind by Tormolen, the pitch, and took something off of that, low and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
Mendez not the biggest guy in the ballpark, but he proves he's got the power to hit it out. He had a solo home run earlier here today.
Swung on and a check swing right back to Tormolen. Didn't mean to. And Tormolen on that grounder throws him out. 2 down in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And that's going to send up Ulysses Hernandez, popped to left, walked and scored. And it's a funny game with baseball, Josh. That 1 half inning makes all the difference, and that's made the difference in this game as Mustangs blew it open with a 5-run 4th inning. The pitch and the breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes, so Hernandez officially is 0 for 1.
Yeah, and usually those big innings are enough. If you can get one of them, it's usually enough to win a ball game.
Fastball is just low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. And because Tormolin hasn't pitched much at the varsity level, his mechanics are something he's still working on. Swung on that ball. Oh, line right back to Tormolin. Holy mahungus. Boy, that was quick reflexes, and not that could have taken off his jersey. A line drive caught by Tormolin, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. Let's head to the 6th inning. Josh will take you the rest of the way with the score. Fort Morgan 6, Brush nothing on B106 and B106.com.
Josh Miller alongside John Beltran here at Eddie Underwood Field, American Legion Park, as the Fort Morgan Mustangs lead the Brush Beat Diggers 6-0. The Mustang Baseball Classic underway. Both teams here in their second game. And as John mentioned earlier, the loser of tonight's ball game will play Saturday at 10 o'clock, and the winner will play at 1. Mustangs lead 6-0 as...
And David Mendez had a no-hitter through 5 innings against Platte Valley, and Matt Godo's got a 1-hitter here going into the 6th inning, so Mustang pitching has been pretty much shut down. They're shutting down between what they've done against Platte Valley and Brush.
Yeah, and I anticipated that Godo was at the end of his leash, and we've got a pitching change here as Nate Alexander is going to take over the ball on the mound here for the Mustangs to start the top of the 6th inning. Alexander came into that Platte Valley game and finished things off earlier today. Alexander had a little trouble himself with control, working out some of the jitters here early in this season. Let's see where he's at here in this second game here tonight as he winds up. And his first pitch to Tyler Monday is down and inside for ball 1.
Looks like Matt Godo's now at third base.
Replacing Misael Franco.
And Godo can play that position very well. That's a strike, and they're 1-1 here to the leadoff hitter for the Beat Diggers, Tyler Monday, in the 6th inning.
1-1 pitch on the way by Alexander. A breaking ball got away from him a little bit, ball 2.
But Josh, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, the pitch count was up there for Godo, first game of the season. Take him out.
Yeah, early on in the season, you don't want to see him get much past 90 pitches, and both pitchers had gotten about to that point. Check swing by Monday. Right back at Nate Alexander, who collects it and tosses it on to first to Aaron Anderson for the putout. That'll be the first out of this inning here as Ryan Hirschfeld comes to the plate for the Beat Diggers.
Yeah, I mean, Fort Morgan pitching today has been extremely impressive.
First pitch by Alexander, a little low. Ball 1 to Hirschfeld. Hirschfeld 0 for 2 here tonight with a K and a ground out. As Alexander winds up and delivers. Looks like he tried to overthrow the baseball there just a little bit. As the pitch is delivered a ball. 2-0 now the count here.
Alexander's a junior. He got 1 varsity start last year.
Breaking ball misses outside as well as the count moves to 3-0. 6-0 Mustangs lead here in the top of the 6th. 3-0 pitch on the way, low and in the dirt, ball 4. That's going to give the Beat Diggers a base runner here with 1 out in the top of the 6th as Trevor Blake comes to the plate for the Beat Diggers.
Your one-stop shop for all of your banking and investment needs, from checking to savings to IRAs, is Morgan Federal Bank, 321 Ensign Street. Morgan Federal Bank, there's a difference. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Blake 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts here in this ball game, both going straight back to the pitcher.
Well, I tell you, now Alexander's getting into the same rut that Matt Godo began the game with, throwing all those balls.
Yeah, when I talked to Coach Langford in between games, he thought Alexander was trying to overthrow a lot in that first game, and it looks like he's doing the same here as the ball gets to the backstop. And Hirschfeld's going to move on to second, and the count 2-0 now on Blake. You know, here early on for a pitcher, you want to settle in, locate your pitches, work on some things, and carry some momentum. not the time early in the season to try to see who can throw harder than the next.
Well, and I'm surprised. He threw 5 balls in a row, then with a 1-0 goes with a curveball, and a 2-0 goes with a curveball. Now he's at 3-0.
Yeah, 2-0 curveball. Unless you're like Goto, who can throw that pitch for a strike, doesn't help you out here as he counts now 3-0. Comes back with the fastball for a strike, 3-1 now.
Yeah, with a 6-run lead, just groove it in there.
Yeah. Blake at second. Worked a little bit by Fitzsimmons at short as Alexander Setz delivers the 3-1 pitch. Check swing. Umpire says no swing. That's going to be ball 4. Runners at first and second now for the Beat Diggers as Dylan Acosta comes to the plate.
Acosta's walked and struck out, so he wants to get on track here and maybe give the Beat Diggers their first run down by 6 in the 6th.
Alexander comes to his set, checks the runner at second, now delivers, pitch on the way, a fastball over the plate, but a little high, ball 1.
See, that's the thing. The fans don't like it, but once you start missing, then the umpire's going to give it more to the hitter than they will to the pitcher.
Alexander sets, checks the runner, 1-0 pitch on the way in the dirt, ball 2.
Again, I don't understand. The 1-0 count struggling to find the zone. You got to be throwing fastballs there, not curveballs.
Yeah, that's a pitch he hasn't established all day in the earlier game or here in this later game that he can throw for a strike as he delivers the 2-0 pitch for a strike, a fastball right down the middle.
But one thing's for sure, when Alexander finds his zone, he brings it.
He's got velocity. He can sit anywhere between 80 and 83 miles an hour probably most of the time. Fast or a curveball, a little bit of a bender, 2-1.
Man, he's about to walk the bases loaded here.
3-1 now on Acosta as that breaking ball missed. As Alexander resets, delivers the fastball for a strike, and fills up the count at 3-2. Umpire a little late on some of these strike calls as Acosta started to head towards first before he realized he had to come back. Garver did the same earlier in the game. With the full count pitch here on the way, Alexander delivers fastball high and outside, ball 4. Going to load the bases here for the Beat Diggers as Alexander's coming into this baseball game. Struggled to find the strike zone. He's thrown 18 pitches this inning, 14 of them balls, 4 strikes. That's not going to get him out.
Well, I'm surprised that Justin Flug is not out there, the catcher, or even the pitching coach, or somebody for the Mustangs to calm Alexander down because he just cannot find the zone on a consistent basis.
Alexander working from the windup with the bases loaded, misses ball 1. Here to Daniel Soto.
Struck out twice in the game, both against Goto.
1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed by Soto. Evens things up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, I'm surprised Soto swung at that. Considering he's had a tough night.
Yeah, pitch was a little up at the letters. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball down in the dirt. Low, ball 2.
Josh, does it look like Alexander's starting to rush himself a little bit?
It really does. It looks like he's rushed, and then looks a little bit like he's trying to overthrow the baseball just a little bit. I'd imagine his arm's probably a little bit tight from the first game as well, which may be adding.
And again, I'm sorry, I hate to harp on the same point. He threw a 2-1 curveball with a 6-run lead, and now it's 3-1. And now he's getting a visit from the third baseman, Matt Goto. I thought that probably should have come a few pitches earlier because he clearly doesn't have his best stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if coaches are calling pitches here or if the game calling's in Flug's hands, but nonetheless, 2-1 isn't necessarily the situation you'd like to see that curveball as he's now falling behind 3-1, and that 3-1 pitch is on the way right down Broadway to even things up 3-2.
Yeah, that was a great fastball. He's just got to throw it again because Soto has really struggled catching up to the fastball tonight.
Yeah, and as cold as it's gotten, and a hitter that struck out twice, you don't want to help him out. 3-2 pitch on the way, fastball high and outside, ball 4. And with that walk, that's going to give the Beat Diggers their first run of tonight's ball game.
Yeah, here comes Josh Langford. I mean, I'm sure he's a little bit stunned that Alexander just lost it here after retiring Tyler Monday. And even with Monday, he was down in that count 2-1 before Monday grounded back to the mound. Let's see if Alexander's going to stay in the game. He's walked 4 in a row. And Josh, with 1 swing, the Beat Diggers will be back in the game.
Yeah, no, they really will be, and they've got Rosenbrock coming to the plate, who's a freshman, but
doesn't look like one. Doesn't look like one.
No, not at all. Classic old-school baseball player, pants pulled up to his knees.
I think he's going to give him one more hitter here, because if he can't retire Rosenbrock, this will be it for Ned Alexander. I don't think Coach Langford wants to deflate his confidence at all. But, again, that's why when you pay a visit to the mound, timing is everything.
It really is.
And, 4 walks in a row. I think it could have come a little bit earlier, but they do have a 5-run lead to play with here. 6-1 Fort Morgan in the 6th.
Alexander sets, delivers his first pitch to Rosenbrock. It's fouled off.
Well, the umpire took it there. It's 0-0. Rosenbrock has grounded out twice.
Well, just as cold as it's gotten to, even as a hitter, that's playing into your mind. And, you slow the pitch down and help these guys out. Not the ideal situation. When you're struggling to locate those curveballs, you may as well rely on the number 1 and use it until they beat you with it. Looked like a changeup there as it bounces in the dirt. 1-1 now the count here on Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock has a fielder's choice and a ground out in this baseball game. As the 1-1 pitch is now on its way, a curveball on the inside part of the plate. Didn't miss by much, but nonetheless, 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Some of the fans didn't like it, but that was definitely up and in.
I don't even know if it's a curveball because it's coming back in on a right-handed hitter. It's something funny. Fastball here on the 2-1 count is missed low and inside. 3-1 now on Rosenbrock. Nowhere to put him with the bases loaded.
Well, and Alexander, again, a junior, he knows in the back of his mind he walks Rosenbrock. He's out of this game.
Yeah, likely going to be the last hitter he sees as Morgan can't afford to give up any more runs. As the ball's driven right center field, runners moving. Blake's going to score. Acosta's going to score as Soto holds up at second and brushes right back in this ball game on the RBI, 2 RBI single by Rosenbrock. And has closed this gap as the Mustangs now lead 6-3 and Brush has closed the gap. It's Rosenbrock on a 3-1 pitch, puts it over the second baseman's head into right center field and picks up 2 RBIs.
So the tying run is at the plate here, and Gregory Maris, who's been on base all 3 times. And that pitch is up and into Maris. It's 1-0. I mean, who would have thought this would have happened? Josh, 5 outs away, bases empty. Now it's 6-3 with a tying run at the plate for the Beat Diggers.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a baseball game here as Alexander sets, and the Mustangs attempt that back pick again on the runner on first, Rosenbrock. But Rosenbrock, I think, is one of those players you're not going to pull too many of those moves on. He's a wise athlete and player who's got his head in the game and is able to get back there on that quick back pick attempt by Alexander. 1-0 pitch on the way, down low in the dirt, ball 2.
Again, you can follow us on KSIRsports.com in terms of the GameCast. You don't even need a computer. You can do it on your smartphone, your Android, your iPhone, and you can follow this GameCast of what's happened so far from Eddie Underwood Field.
Again, John, we've talked about it, not to beat the horse.
No,
a 2-0 curveball.
It's ridiculous. I can't understand a 2-0 breaking ball when you can't throw the breaking ball for a strike. I know you're only up by 3 runs now as opposed to 6, but it doesn't make any sense. You're going against the percentages.
Now the count 3-0 here on Mares as pitch on its way outside. Ball 4 is going to load the bases back up again for the Brush Beat Diggers. Langford doesn't like what he sees, and that's going to be the end of Alexander's evening. 33 pitches thrown, 25 of them balls. Coming into a ball game as the Mustangs led 6-0, now leaving it leading 6-3.
Well, let's take a break for the pitching change. As Josh mentioned, the Mustangs and Beat Diggers now in a baseball game. It's Fort Morgan 6, Brush 3 in the top of the 6th inning. This is B106 and B106.com.
Back here at Eddie Underwood Field, Josh Miller alongside John Beltran. We've got a pitching change as Ulysses Hernandez comes into this game to pitch, moving in from second base to the mound. Nate Alexander's going to go out to left field.
I'm still not sure who's going to be playing second base. All of a sudden, this is a 6-3 game. The Mustangs were in control, but then Nate Alexander really lost his control on the mound. Walked 4 in a row. Kyle Rosenbrock came through with a 2-run single, and then he walked Gregory Mayer. So, I mean, amazingly enough, the Beat Diggers have the go-ahead run at the plate. So again, let's see if we can iron out who's playing second base.
Looks like David Mendez, number 6 for the Mustangs, is going to come in at second base. As the Mustangs have made a bunch of defensive switches here. No one really coming out of the ball game, just changing positions.
All right, so Soto at third, Rosenbrock at second, Maris at first. I got to tell you, Josh, I'm stunned that the game has gone this direction. We thought we'd be out of here probably in the next 5 or 10 minutes, but now this could go on another half hour, 45 minutes, depending upon, as we're not too far from the 2-hour mark in this game.
Yep. Approaching 2 hours. I'm actually a little bit surprised that Langford went back to Alexander here in Game 2 with him throwing earlier this afternoon. You'd think with the arsenal of arms you'd give somebody else the chance to get some early innings here in this season, but nonetheless, it didn't work out for him as Alexander was able to find the plate.
Yeah, he looked good against Tyler Monday, but for some reason, Alexander just lost it. And Eric Garcia is the go-ahead run. Ulysses Hernandez is the third pitcher the Mustangs are using, their third right-hander. And apparently there was an issue somewhere in the Brush dugout as the field umpire, Garen Baker, is speaking with the first base coach. Maybe that's a courtesy runner out there for Brush. That's what they wanted. And the courtesy runner for the Beet Diggers will be Nico Guzman. So Nico Guzman running at first base.
Yeah, Hernandez delivered a pitch, but the umpire waved it off as Brush was able to call timeout quick enough to get that courtesy runner in the game. Breaking ball over the plate for Hernandez, strike 1, as he gets ahead here early on Eric Garcia. Garcia 1 for 2 in this ball game, a walk, that's going to fly out as Hernandez sets to deliver the 0-1 pitch. High and outside, ball 1. 1-1 the count, bases loaded. Beet Diggers have closed the gap as they trail the Mustangs now 6-3 in the top half of the 6th inning. Justin Flug wants to go out and talk things over with his pitcher. Not sure if they got crossed up there or not, but nonetheless, Flug straightens things out as Hernandez back on the mound now and set for the 1-1 pitch. Gets the sign from Flug. Comes to the set, checks the runners. Working from the stretch with bases loaded. Pitch on the way right down the middle, strike 2. 1-2 the count on Garcia. As Hernandez gets his sign and set again. Mustang pitchers here all day working with a bit of pace about themselves. As the 1-2 pitch on its way, quickly put into play. Ground ball right side. Anderson struggles to come away with it, but quickly collects it and steps on the bag for the force out. Run's going to score as Soto comes across from third. 2 outs here in the inning. Brush is going to have runners at second and third with Mitch Tormolin stepping up to the plate.
And it's now a 6-4 game. But again, like you mentioned, the Beet Diggers can tie it with a base hit. And Tormolin, though, is 0 for 3 in the game.
First pitch down and in the dirt, ball 1. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Mustangs lead by 2. 6-4 is the score. Rosenbrock on third base bag for Brush. Guzman at second. The courtesy runner. Runners at second and third. The 1-0 pitch a little high.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like that, but I thought it was definitely above the letters. And that would constitute a ball.
Umpires established he's working that low zone and has been consistent with it all night. The 2-0 pitch on its way. Right center field. Runners moving for Brush. We're going to have a tie baseball game as Tormolin reached out and got that pitch, put it out into right center field. And on the throw back into the infield, he's going to stay put at first, but nonetheless, he's tied this baseball game at 6.
That's a stunner. A 2-run single by Mitch Tormolin. Not that that was the stunner, but in tying the game. And now the Beet Diggers have got the go-ahead run at first base.
Not what the Mustangs expected to see as the first pitch here to Monday, driven to the left center gap. Tormolin's turning and burning. He's going to round third and heading home. He should score easily and does as Monday picks up the RBI double and giving Brush this lead for the first time here tonight, and the wheels have fallen off for Morgan. They started this inning up 6-0. Nate Alexander came into the baseball game and relieved Matt Godo, who pretty much was lights out for the first part of the game, and Brush now leads with their 7th run this inning.
Yeah, this is unreal. I mean, now you wonder whether Kyle Rosenbrock will come into the game for the last 2 innings. Ryan Hirschfeld takes a strike there on the breaking ball. It's 0-1. I mean, I am in complete shock, Josh. This is stunning to me.
Definitely didn't see it coming a half inning ago, and the Mustangs led 6-0, but the difference 20 minutes will make, as the Beat Diggers have put up 7 here in the top half of the 6th. Base hit through the 5-6 hole. Going to move Monday over to 3rd.
And the Beat Diggers in this inning, now they did benefit from 4 walks, but all of a sudden they're swinging the bats. That is their 4th hit of the inning, as they've got 3 hits in a row. Yeah, this is just stunning. And that was on an 0-2 pitch.
Yeah, Ulysses Hernandez did well there to get ahead, but wasn't able to finish that bat, and an 0-2 pitch, too good of a pitch at that, as Hirschfeld was able to poke the ball through the 5-6 hole and out to left field, and that's going to bring up Trevor Blake. Runners at 1st and 3rd for the Beat Diggers with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th, as Blake calls timeout.
Blake grounded out to the mound in the 1st and 4th innings, then walked and scored earlier in this inning. Yeah, this is just remarkable. 5 outs away was Fort Morgan. But you know what, Josh? It all boils down to pitching, because the rally didn't start because of the Beat Diggers. The rally started because of the lack of pitching by the Mustangs. Then the Beat Digger bats got going.
That's just it. As the 1-0 pitch is on its way, hit right back up the middle. Hernandez knocks it down. Sends it over quickly to Anderson to get out of this inning. A nightmare for the Mustangs, as the Beat Diggers were able to put up 7 and take the lead in this baseball game. 5.5 in the books. We'll take a quick break. Brush leads Fort Morgan 7-6. You're listening to Mustangs Baseball, B106, B106.com. Josh Miller alongside John Beltran, Eddie Underwood Field, American Legion Park, where Fort Morgan has let this baseball game get away from him, as Brush scores 7 runs in the top half of the 6th inning to take the lead.
And the Beat Diggers are going with basically their ace from a year ago, now a senior, in Gregory Mayers, a hard-throwing right-hander. Mitch Tormolen is back at first base. So those are the Beat Digger changes.
Who goes to short for Brush?
That looks like Kyle Rosenbrock. So that's what we're looking at. And Ryan Hirschfeld at second. Yeah, I for some reason can't make those changes on here. I'm hitting them. There we go.
So James Martin's going to be batting here to lead off for the Mustangs. Nick Garber, their leadoff hitter, on deck. And in the hole, Matt Godo, as the Mustangs look to try to regroup and bounce back from a 7-run inning. Nate Alexander coming into that game got the first out of Tyler Monday, but then lost it thereafter, and Brush capitalized, putting 7 on the board to take the lead. First pitch here by Mayers is right down the middle for strike 1 on Martins.
Yeah, Mayers is a hard-throwing righty, and he doesn't mess around at all.
Martins check swing. Umpire says he went. That's going to put Martins in the hole 0-2. Earlier today, Martins had a single out to left center. His one at-bat. Now sits 0-2 as Mayers winds up. Pitch on the way. A breaking ball. Looked good, but just missed.
We've got to try to figure that one out. That looked like strike 3 on Martins.
1-2 the count as Mayers winds up outside. Strike 3 looking. As Martins goes down. For the first out here in the bottom half of the sixth inning, Nick Garver, the Mustangs leadoff hitter, comes down to the plate.
Well, the one thing's for sure is that the Mustangs will be sending the heart of the order up either in this inning or in the bottom half of the seventh.
Mares delivers. Harden in the dirt. Ball 1 to Garver. Garver 1 for 2 here tonight. Single fielder's choice and was hit by a pitch. As Mares winds up, sends the 1-0 pitch down a little bit low. Ball 2. 2-0 now here to Garver. It looks like he may be taking as the Mustangs try to get a runner here on base. Mustangs have somebody down in the bullpen warming out. I'm not sure who that is. And as the 2-0 pitch on its way is good for a strike. 2-1 now. Here is Garver. Looks to try to make something happen for the Mustangs. That's what you'd like to see out of your leadoff hitter, is the guy that finds a way to get on base. And we'll see if Garver's able to pull that off here. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Good cut by Garver, but comes up empty. 2-2 the count.
Whether it's health, life, or dental insurance, or Medicare supplements, see Sharon Kaufman at Insurance Connection.
Mares winds up. Set to deliver the 2-2 pitch. A breaking ball. Catches Garver looking for strike 3. That's 2 quick strikeouts, both looking here for Mares.
I'm sorry, that was a brutal pitch. I mean, tough for Garver to even see that one, because he was anticipating, I think, a fastball there. And there's 2 down here for Matt Godo, a home run threat.
Godo takes the first pitch. Ball 1 down low and inside. Garver here tonight, 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out, and a walk. A home run earlier today, a big 3-run blast. As the 1-0 pitch on its way, high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 here for Matt Godo, as Mares looks to finish this inning before the Mustangs can create any trouble for him, as there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. 2-0 pitch.
Wow. I think the Brooks fans wanted that one, didn't get it, just a little bit low. It's 3-0 now.
3-0, and likely Godo will be taking here as he works to get on base for the Mustangs. And does so as the pitch is sent right down the middle for strike 1. 3-1 now the count on Godo, as Mares looks to get back in this count and fill things up. Winds up, pitch on the way, high and inside, ball 4. Mustangs have a base runner here now in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs, as Michael Fitzsimmons comes to the plate. Fitzsimmons 1 for 2 with a single and a ground out, also a walk.
Well, this is high drama. I mean, the Mustangs were 5 outs away with a 6-0 lead, and the base is empty. Now the Beat Diggers are 4 outs away with a 1-run lead, and Godo at first.
Godo a reasonable lead. Pitch delivered from the stretch by Mares is called a strike. As Fitzsimmons falls behind 0-1 here early. Godo takes his lead off first. Mares gets the sign. Quick check. Now delivers. Inside. Ground ball. Stop. Fielded by Rosenbrock. Thrown across the diamond for the 3rd out of the inning. Mustangs leave a runner on base. 6 in the books. Brush leads Fort Morgan 7-6. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to Mustangs Basketball, B106, B106.com. Josh Miller alongside John Beltran. Eddie Underwood Field here in American Legion Park, Fort Morgan, Colorado. Mustangs Classic. 7-6 is our scores. Mustangs trail. Dylan Acosta leads off here for the Beat Diggers as Ulysses Hernandez delivers his first pitch, which is fouled off over West Street and into somebody's front yard and gets ahead here early, 0-1. John, talking in between the break, it's really cooled off here.
I'm telling you, this is getting brutal. Brutal.
Just as fast as the Mustangs cooled off, so did the temperatures outside. As the 0-1 pitch by Hernandez just misses.
Well, they gave him the strike.
Gave him the strike, and that's going to be 0-2. As he fights to get ahead here early, winds up his 0-2 pitch on the way in the dirt. 1-2. Martin staying in the game, catching here now for Fluke.
You know, we've only got 10 hits combined in the game and 13 runs because of a number of walks.
Little sidearm pitch there by Hernandez is poked foul as Acosta stays alive. Anderson collects it, and Hernandez gets a new baseball from the umpire.
And my hands are shaking. I feel like I've had 20 drinks now. It's hard to keep focused.
Hernandez again, sidearm inside, ground ball, third base. Picked by Godo. Godo's not able to come up with it, and that's going to be an error on Matt Godo at third. And Acosta's going to be safe at first, giving the Beat Diggers a base runner here in the top of the seventh.
And that's the first error of the game by the Mustangs.
Yeah, he talked about a lot of extra opportunities. Mustangs haven't really shot themselves in the foot with that first error. A lot of walks, though, for Fort Morgan.
Daniel Soto trying to square the bunt, but he fouls it back, so it's 0-1. And, you know, at this point, with Gregory Mayers on the mound, you get that insurance run. That two-run lead could seem pretty big.
That really can. Mustangs are going to have the heart of their order coming up in the bottom of the seventh inning, and they'd like to only work to try to get one. Two may be hard to ask, because most of their runs came early in this ball game, and they've been pretty quiet since. Foul ball on the bunt attempt by Soto. Almost got it down and just hit a blade of grass there to work its way into foul territory down the third base line, and the count now goes 0-2.
Yeah, now the thing, Josh, is that obviously Soto's going to have to hit away. And, Jesus, here we go with somebody in right field. They're backing out. Making sure those headlights don't bother the players.
0-2 pitch on the way from Hernandez. A breaking ball has popped up. Should be handled by the shortstop, Fitzsimmons, and is. As the Mustangs get the first out of this seventh inning on the pop-out to Fitzsimmons at short.
Yeah, I mean, if the Beat Diggers cannot score here, then, you know, the tying run's always at the plate.
First to Rosenbrock, swung on and missed, 0-1. Rosenbrock 1 for 3 in this baseball game, a huge hit, which really made this a baseball game, picking up those 2 runs and making it a 3-run ball game, which gave Brush the chance to close the gap.
Hernandez finding a spot now with that one on the inside corner, now up 0-2 against Rosenbrock.
A great-looking breaking ball there from Hernandez as he's well ahead. Like to see him use that to his advantage. A good pitch down and in. It's a ball. 1-2 now. Here they count. You'd like to see him use that to his advantage. Again, sidearm pitch in, fouled off left side. As Rosenbrock fights to stay alive here for the Beat Diggers. 1 out, top of the seventh inning. Beat Diggers lead the Mustangs 7-6. Mustangs will have the chance in the bottom half to make something happen with the heart of their lineup coming up. 1-2 pitch delivered by Hernandez. It's just a little bit outside, and things even up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As Hernandez gets the sign from Martins, now delivers the breaking ball, which just pops up just back behind the third base bag. Godo's able to get under it for the second out of the inning. As Gregory Mayers now comes to the plate with 2 outs, top of the seventh for Brush.
And Mayers in the game has now been retired. Takes that curveball for a strike, but he's walked 3 times and been hit by a pitch.
Doesn't have an official at-bat here yet tonight. As the first pitch is delivered for a strike, 0-1 on its way, a little bit high for a ball, now 1-1, as the famed Fort Morgan train rolls through. Right at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. 1-1 pitch on the way, a breaking ball in for a strike. Hernandez gets ahead 1-2.
This is KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan.
1-2 pitch on the way again. Sidearm ground ball, left side, collected by Godo, thrown across to Anderson to end the inning. Mustangs are going to head to the dugout to the bottom of the seventh inning, trailing Brush by 1. 7-6 is our score. Mustangs with the heart of their lineup coming up, trying to make something happen here late in this baseball game. We'll take a quick break. Mustangs baseball, B106, B106.com. Josh Miller alongside John Beltran as we head to the bottom of the seventh inning. The Mustangs trail the Beat Diggers 7-6. They let this ball game get away from them, John, in the top of the sixth inning, where the Beat Diggers put up all 7 runs on a lot of walks by Mustang pitcher Nate Alexander, but Brush did a good job to capitalize, and what looked to be a Mustangs win, and them leading early 6-0. It's now turned into a entirely different ball game. And
you've got Aaron Anderson, Justin Flug, and Cole Frisbee here to try to save the night for the Mustangs in the 7th against Gregory Maris, beginning his 2nd inning of work.
Maris winds up, delivers his first pitch to Anderson, low and outside, ball 1. Mustangs need a base runner. They need to find a way to get that base runner around and home if they're going to have a chance of tying or if not winning this baseball game. The 1-0 pitch on the way right down Broadway for a strike. Even things up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Maris working quickly here for Brush. Already gets his sign. Winds up, pitch on the way. Breaking ball, high and outside, ball 2. 2-1 on Aaron Anderson. Anderson 0 for 2 tonight. Got on base on an error early in this ball game. 2-1 pitch on its way, a fly ball to left field. It's going to be handled by Garcia for the first out of the inning.
I mean, this is inconceivable that the Beet Diggers could win this game. Totally inconceivable considering what's happened.
Difference 20 minutes will make in a half of an inning as the Beet Diggers again put up 7 runs in 1 inning to turn this thing upside down and take the lead for the first time here tonight as Justin Flug steps into the box, takes the first pitch on the inside part of the plate for a strike. As Maris is throwing a lot of strikes, 21 pitches total, 12 of them strikes at this point. As second pitch, swung. They're going to say he swung. That's going to put him in an 0-2 hole. Scoreboard shows 1-1, but I've got strikes.
Yeah, that was a nasty breaking ball. Flug took a check swing, but definitely went around. That was a good call by the home plate umpire, but luckily for the Beet Diggers, that was on a 1-strike count because he could have reached it had that been a 2-strike pitch.
0-2's the count. Maris quick to work. A little bit of a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Flug. Cole Frisbee on deck for the Mustangs. David Mendez in the hole. 1-2 pitch. Hits the shortstop. Bobbled around. Going to be bang-bang. Umpire says Flug's safe. Justin quick to get out of the box there on that ground ball. Quickly bobbled by Rosenbrock. It's short. Going to give the Mustangs a base runner here on that air by the shortstop, Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock, a freshman.
Cole Frisbee is the winning run for the Mustangs with 1 out and 1 on here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and Brush leading 7-6.
Frisbee's been pretty quiet. He's got a single, 1 for 3 tonight with 2 ground outs as well as he takes the first pitch for a strike. Mustangs have Flug on first after that error by Rosenbrock. 1 out here in the bottom half of this 7th inning. As gets ready here for the 0-1 pitch. Taken down and in the dirt, ball 1. 1-1 on Frisbee. Frisbee, a big power hitter from the left side of the plate. Shortest part of Eddie Underwood Field is right field at 307. If he can get a pitch up and spin on something, that may be the night's ball game. Good cut by Frisbee, a little behind, though, as it goes out over the Morgan dugout.
A watch here for Gregory Maris to perhaps deliver that breaking ball. He likes to start that thing well outside and freeze normally right-handed hitters. I don't know if he would throw it here to a lefty, but we'll find out here on the 1-2.
Maris sets, now delivers. Fastball on the outside part of the plate, just outside.
Wow.
Catcher looks back briefly to get an explanation on where that pitch missed.
And Trevor Blake thought it was strike 3, looking back at the home plate umpire, but it just missed.
2-2 here on Frisbee as Maris quick to get set. Now delivers the 2-2 pitch inside, high and inside. He's going to fill it up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Not sure with 1 out here. The Morgan Mustangs needing base runners that Flug will be in motion, but the 3-2 pitch on the way here to Frisbee.
Oh, and it hit him on the right shoulder. Well, I guess I'll take that either way with the hit batsman.
Hit by pitch. He's going to put Frisbee at first, but he's going to be pinch run for.
Yeah, let's see who that courtesy runner is.
I think that's going to be a straight substitution.
Well, either way, here comes
this is going to be Mendez, number 24, Jacob Frick. Is going to come into the game and run for Frisbee. Mendez is going to come in, or is in the game to hit. He had a solo home run earlier here today. Mustangs with Flug in scoring position at second. Frick now on the base pass, running for Frisbee at first. As Mendez is 0 for 3 here tonight with 2 ground outs and a fielder's choice. But again, earlier here today, he was able to get one up in the air and over the left center field fence. And we don't need a home run here by Mendez, just a base hit into one of these big gaps and allow these guys to run here on the base pass and look to tie this ball game. Mares comes to the set. First pitch on the way, right down the middle, strike one. I imagine Mendez taking a pitch just with the Mustangs being behind. Now in the 0-1 count, he's got to be ready to hit. Pitch on the way by Mares, a breaking ball. Strike two. As Mendez falls behind 0-2 here to Gregory Mares, the Beat Diggers pitcher, who's come into this game and is just, quite frankly, mowed guys down.
Oh, yeah. And he just struck him out on a curveball in 3 pitches. Mendez, quite frankly, Josh, was overmatched there, and there's 2 down.
3 really good pitches there as Mendez pulls the helmet over his eyes and walks back to the dugout, a bit frustrated there that he wasn't able to do anything with it. Nonetheless, we've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. If the Mustangs are going to do anything, now's the time, too, as Ulysses Hernandez steps into the box for the Mustangs and takes strike one. Mustangs have the runner in scoring position in Flug. Frick at first, the winning run, as Hernandez waits for the pitch. Pitch on its way and in there for strike 2. A little bit of a breaking ball there as Mares took something off that pitch, and Hernandez now falls behind 0-2. 0-2 pitch on the way, Mares.
That's what all
play. First base is going to have a play, and that's going to do it. As it's caught in foul territory by Tormolin. Brush is going to shock Morgan here in the nightcap as Fort Morgan led by 6 runs. Brush puts up 7 in the top of the 6th and finishes this baseball game with the win. We'll take a quick break, be back with final numbers. 7-6 is the final here. Mustangs baseball, B106, B106.com. Josh Miller alongside Josh Beltran. Welcome back to the Mustang postgame show brought to you by High Plains Bank in Wiggins. No matter what your loans need, stop by High Plains Bank at 502 Central Avenue in Wiggins today. Also inquire about checking and savings accounts as well as CDs at High Plains Bank in Wiggins. Well, John, final numbers here for the Mustangs. 6 runs on 5 hits, 1 error. 8 runners left on base for the Brush Beat Diggers who come away with the shocking win. 7 runs on 5 hits, 3 errors, 9 runners left on base. Mustangs got off to a quick start early with the 1-run lead. Added to that in the 4th with 5 runs, but the Beat Diggers answered off some extra opportunities and walks and put up 7 runs in the top of the 6th inning to win the baseball game.
Well, the bottom line is that Fort Morgan had those 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, thanks in part to a couple of bases-loaded walks as the starting pitcher Tyler Monday began to struggle, as did Ryan Hirschfeld. But then Nate Alexander came out there for the 6th inning after Matt Goto threw a 1-hit masterpiece. And again, it was a 6-0 game. Alexander got the first out of the 6th inning, then issued 4 consecutive walks. That made it 6-1. Kyle Rosenbrock comes through with a 2-run single, making it 6-3. And then the Beat Diggers put together a couple of more hits there, a single from Mitch Tormolin, which drove in 2 more runs. Tyler Monday with a double, which drove in another. Ryan Hirschfeld with a single. And all in all, the Beat Diggers really shocked the Mustangs. I mean, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that had Goto went the distance in a game that Fort Morgan would have won the game, but that doesn't mean that was a bad coaching move. I mean, we thought that was the appropriate move, a 6-run lead, and Goto's pitch count was up there, so to put in Alexander certainly was not a mistake, or at least any relief pitcher for that matter, but unfortunately, the Mustang pitcher struggled, and once they struggled, the Beat Digger hitters took advantage and started hitting the baseball there in the top half of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and Alexander came out, and we thought things were going to be on track as he got that first quick out with that comeback ground ball from Monday. and one out in the inning, and we thought things were on track. And then out of nowhere, he just lost control, whether it was trying to overthrow or rush what he was doing. Nonetheless, he couldn't get the ball over the plate. Threw about 29 pitches, and 25 of them were balls. And before you could blink, the Mustangs lost the 6-run lead, and that big hit by Monday out to left center field gave the Beet Diggers the lead, and they didn't look back.
All right, so here's the scenario for the next couple of days. University, Conifer, and Meade will be here tomorrow. Those three teams will play, obviously, 2 games apiece. The Mustangs will play at 10 a.m. on Saturday right here on B106 and B106.com against the second-place team from tomorrow's pool play. And then the Brush Beet Diggers will play on Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock on 1010, as well as KSIR.com against the top team from tomorrow's pool play. So that's the way we've got it set. Coming up on Saturday, both of these teams are not in action coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, day off tomorrow as the Mustangs finish off the start of their 2012 season here with a win and a loss, 1-1 now here early in the start of the 2012 season, and the Beet Diggers come out of nowhere here and pick up 2 good wins, and they're gonna head into Saturday with some momentum and confidence and look to pick up that 3rd win here early this season.
All right, so a very interesting day of baseball as Fort Morgan defeated Platte Valley 11-1, and then Brush over Platte Valley 5-1, and the Mustangs blow a 6-0 lead. The Beet Diggers win this one 7-6.
That'll do it for us here tonight. I'd like to thank our sound engineer and producer back in the studio, Trenton Klimper. I'm Josh Miller alongside John Beltran. With a final score of 7-6, Brush comes out of nowhere to win it. You've been listening to Mustang Baseball on B106, B106.com. We'll talk to you on Saturday.